So I just had a phone call from Mum, Tilly, about the chickens. So we've just rushed up here, haven't we? So what's going on?
Well, I came up here and if I go over here, I think someone's been trying to get in. Not an animal, because this has been pulled right back. The top one, that's security in case a fox climbed up. And the bottom one was completely undone down here. And I know I definitely closed them yesterday because I was talking to a friend and I actually went out this way after I'd closed them. So that to me points that someone was trying to get in, as in a humanoid.
Yeah, because I mean, a fox isn't going to be able to undo these clips.
No. And
no way.
There's no way we leave them like that anyway. It's being pulled right out.
See, again, there's one there. A fox cannot undo that.
No.
No matter how clever they are.
No.
But there's a padlock, and obviously they couldn't. So, thinking about it, it's either going to be someone who has tried to get the eggs, or maybe even the chicken guard door. They wanted that.
Well, all the chickens, you never know, do you? There's some odd people around.
Yeah, do something to the chickens, let them out. You get kids coming up here because the site is not really secure and the council won't fix the fencing. So kids just come in here and drink and stuff.
Yeah, I think there's lots of areas that they could potentially get in. But bearing in mind that I left, well, it was getting on to 3:30 that I was home yesterday. And you've only got, another hour and a half of daylight. And there were people here. There were several people here on their plots working. So it could be someone that just came up later on in the dark.
Yeah.
Because people do come up here whenever they like. There's no restriction here as to when you can come up and stuff.
But the frustrating thing is that we've taken the trail cams down because there's not really anything up here to take anymore of worth.
No.
No crops and that, and we've taken them down, and that's why there's no trail cam footage. But needless to say, they're going right back up again today.
Well, they are, yes. Yeah.
Pointed on the little chickens.
Yeah.
They must have been so scared.
If only they could talk and give a description. But no, honestly, yeah, it's like, it's not nice, is it?
No.
We've gone through this whole thing of theft up here before.
Yeah.
People invading your safe, quiet place.
Do you guys have people coming trampling over your own plots and stealing veg and things? I guess you must. It's just human nature, isn't it?
I mean, years ago, someone up here got kicked off the site for stealing eggs.
They did. They were actually caught.
They were caught on trail cam. So, yeah, well, I guess that's going to be history repeating itself, unless it was just drunk kids.
Well, possibly.
Because they do it.
Well, not necessarily even drunk. They just...
messing about.
Yeah.
Well, there's loads of beer cans up in the wild garden where kids come in and drink up there. So, yeah. But it makes you angry, doesn't it?
It does.
Just stay away. Why do people have to get involved with other people's business? Just leave people alone.
I know. Get
what's
on
wrong
with
with
your own
people?
life.
Well, the plot thickens, doesn't it? Because we've just come up to our allotment and this has happened. So
this here was meant to be more up here, so it's almost like somebody's gone like that, and it's almost, these have been hit into the ground like really deep. It's almost like somebody's gone like this quite hard and they're kind of bent.
Yeah, over on the far one, it's like they've done it on that one.
I mean, look, you see here that this is well and truly in the ground, so they've hit, it's been pushed.
Yeah, because I hammered those in with the sledge. You guys probably saw it in one of the vlogs. So some little, I'm not going to swear, it's a family channel, they've gone in and
kicked things quite forcefully and bent them, because they're so well deep in the ground that's, if you kicked it, that's what would happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
At the bottom of the base.
Yeah.
Is there anything else? Or is there...
As far as I can see, the rest of the plot looks okay. Yeah, the rest of it looks okay. It's like someone's just gone past and done. We're thinking, maybe it's an animal, but there's no way a fox would bend that. No way.
Certainly not three of them, all at the same bottom. It's a kick.
Yeah. I don't know. It's odd that something's happened to Mum's plot and something's happened to our plot on the same night, if I'm quite honest. And also another thing for proof is that we were actually staying in Exmouth last night, and there's a members vlog which it's come out before this one, so you can see that on our channel. I don't think Tilly's going to come up and do this, is she? Or Nick in the dark. I mean, honestly, we'll probably just chalk it up to like kids coming in and doing this. I know some of our friends down the bottom had a cold frame smashed by kids that got in here.
Yeah.
So I think it's just time for more trail cams, basically. I think that's all we can do.
Well, at least they haven't come up and pulled everything out.
Right, so I've been around the site and spoken to some people about the vandalism, and me and Tilly had a look up at our wild garden. The gate has been left open, and we are pretty sure it's chancing kids that have come through the site and done this. So I don't think it's anyone maliciously out to get us or whatever. That's just being paranoid. But I think it's I think it's just the work of kids. This used to happen years ago up here, apparently. So, and I guess it's happening again. But trail cams are going up again. What could you do?
So while you were off doing that,
Dealing with the drama,
I picked all the beets up now, and we've got, you know, there's a fair few there.
Yeah, it's a nice selection.
And I think what we're going to do is we're going to pickle some of the red beets for Christmas, and then eat the rest.
But yeah, there's a good haul. They're not like massive, but they're good for like pickling size, aren't they? Definitely.
Oh, I mean, definitely. I mean, that, you know, that would be nice to pickle these kind of sizes. So if we pickle like these type of sizes and leave the bigger ones for like roasting to eat,
roast beets.
Then we'll have some nice pickles for Christmas.
Yeah, and all that's left to do is weed that beet plot, or finish weeding it, dig it over, put in the horse manure, and that's where the squashes will be next year. And there's a plane going over. Remember the planes? Can't escape them. Right, anyway, let's go home, because on a drink after all this drama. Hi, plane. Hi, Chase. Hello. I haven't seen you for a little while. Well, it is Monday morning, and I've just been out with Tilly to get some chicken feed, and obviously back up the plot again. Where else would I be? And today I've got a few jobs to catch up on. So the beet patch needs to be weeded and dug over, because next year we've had a look at your lovely comments, and I want to say thank you now to all of you guys who commented on the planning video that we did with the whiteboard, because we've decided to make a few changes to our plan thanks to you guys. So it just goes to show that viewers do have an impact, and yeah, honestly, we do really appreciate the comments that you've left for us, and some advice on tips and things to do and try next year. So if I kind of go through what we're going to change, so I mean, we'll start off with the beet patch, which I'm going to be working on today. Now that one, we have decided we're going to turn it into a pumpkin patch. So we'll be growing 2 varieties of pumpkin in there, and I'll tell you about those later because they're quite fun. And we've decided to go for the 3 sisters method on our big plot over there. I'll show you a shot of that now. You can actually see the green manure is starting to come along nicely in there as well, which is fantastic. Yeah, it'll be nice to dig that in the spring, ready for the 3 sisters to go in. So we are going to go with obviously the corn, which was the original idea. We were just going to have the corn on its own. We're going to have the corn. We are going to grow some climbing beans up it. I need to check varieties. I haven't decided on the varieties yet. And then we are also going to plant the squash to run along the bottom. So I'll talk about that in a bit more detail, perhaps in another video, about the whole 3 sisters thing. But I've been doing my research, and I think it's the way to go. So thank you guys. That's your contribution that's helped us make that decision. And Chase is just wanting lots of fuss. We have liftoff with the garlic, big liftoff, and I'm going to feed those today with chicken poo tea. So basically, this is Tilly told me about this. You know, not wanting to like waste things on the plot and make the most of things we have. So all the chicken manure from the chickens, Tilly puts into like a burlap sack, and you add water to this and it drains into a bucket. So you basically have like a really strong plant food, like a homegrown, homemade organic plant food that we can use for all our crops here. So I'm going to be feeding the garlic with that today. I'll just show you the chicken poo tea, and oh thanks Chase is cleaning me. I'll show you the chicken poo tea and the garlic. We'll give that a bit of water in. It needs feed today. It's been about a week since it's had its last one, which I used liquid seaweed, but we're going to go for the chicken poo today. So let's have a look at that. It's just over here. So here it is. This is the slop bucket. So this chicken poo tea, it has already had water added to it, but it will need to be diluted again. So what I'm going to do is fill up half a watering can with this and half of it with regular water from the water butts, and I'm literally just going to give the garlic a nice feed today. And apparently this stuff is just, it's like super strength, super strong, brilliant for all sorts of plants on the allotment. Only downside is it does smell a bit, so yeah, don't get it on your hands. Here we are at the garlic patch, and I have my lovely mix of chicken poo tea. I have also added in just a dash of liquid seaweed as well, because it needs its feed, as I've just mentioned. But yeah, this garlic is coming on really nicely. Let's have a look. I'll spin the camera around and show you what they're getting up to. These are the topodrome. You guys have seen me putting these in the ground, and look at them. I would say, I think there's only one that hasn't come up. Actually no, I tell a lie, there's two, but it looks like there is growth on them. I don't know if you can see that, but there is growth, and there's a smaller one at the end, but the rest of them have all come up nicely. The elephant garlic is coming up, but it's slower. It's a lot slower to grow, and these are going to be in the ground for 2 years in this space. Now over here we have I think it's the Solent White, which I got from my trading shed, and I've seen a couple of sprouts, but there's not much movement on that front yet. We'll see how they go. But the topodrome, it did go in earlier than the Solent White anyway, but yeah, you can see it's coming along nicely. Happy with that. Now I'll just give it a water and a feed. So here we are at the former beet patch. Now the other day, Han picked all the beets that we've got left, and we have decided to pickle a lot of the red ones. So they were the Detroit number 2. Just show you like the harvest that we had, the remainder of them that were left. So we're going to pickle those for Christmas. We had a load of golden beets left. We had some of those for Sunday lunch yesterday, roasted of course. We have a couple left, that's fine. But today I really want to get this weeded over. I want to get all the weeds out, give it a nice digging over, ready for horse manure compost to go in very soon. And I expect I'll be spending a small fortune on that, because it's a fair old size, this patch. Now the reason for the horse manure, as you guys know, you probably saw in the planning video we did with the whiteboard, we are swapping everything we grow with everything that Tilly grows, well 90% of it. However, one of the crops we want to grow again, because they're just fun to grow, is the pumpkins, and this is where the pumpkins will be going. If you saw on the last video, the plan was we were going to have the squashes here, but obviously we've listened to your guys' thoughts and your excellent comments and advice, and we've decided to do the 3 sisters method, as I've mentioned earlier. So we are going to keep this as a pumpkin patch, because we just love growing pumpkins. So today the idea is to get this weeded, dug over, ready for the horse manure compost. I've got the pumpkin seeds on order. In fact, they should be arriving in the post today because I wanted to get them super early to make sure that they don't sell out or anything, because we want these pumpkins in. I have actually gone for 2 varieties of pumpkin for next year. So we are growing the zombie pumpkin and the warty goblin pumpkin. A couple of pictures of those there. I think they live up to their name. Like they look disgusting. All these nodules on them, like big warts, like a warty old goblin, like warts coming out of a goblin, and like gross nodules like you'd find on the zombie. And oh yeah, disgusting looking, absolutely disgusting.
What did he just say? These are beauty spots to have, you know. You bearded hipster and your fisherman jumper. Oh no, he's not, Chesney. He's having a pop at the undead and the goblins. I'm thoroughly outraged, and I'm going to leave a dislike on the video. Well, I'm enraged, Chesney. How dare he say we're ugly? Something has to be done. I know. I'll leave a comment on the video expressing how hurt and upset we are. And send. There we are, Chesney. Now the whole world will know about how upset I am and about what he said. I'm an important person, me, and my opinion matters. My mummy told me so.
Oh, I'm about halfway through, I think. Just picking up a few little straggling weeds here. Right, now to be honest, normally we would like thoroughly weed this and like get everything out. But it's going to have horse manure compost mixed in with it, because that's great for pumpkins. And the other thing we are going to do, actually, so whether you guys kind of have done this before, you agree with this method, I don't know, but the idea with this patch for next year to cut down on the amount of weeding we have to do, because I mean we have got some big plots, to be fair, is we're going to cover this in black membrane and then cut holes in the membrane to put the pumpkin plants in, and then we can just water directly on the hole that's cut. So the rest of the ground will be covered in membrane, and we'll just have the holes with the plants coming through. Right, so we've got Tilly has a neighbour who's done this. She did it last year. It worked brilliantly. It was amazing for her. She didn't have to weed it at all. She grew squashes and they were fantastic. Like really, really lovely harvest she had. So I think that's what we're going to do, just to cut down on the workload. So work smart, not harder. Anyway, right, let's get this done. It's about like nearly 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and the sun is like it's setting already. Like, yeah, I missed the summer already. We didn't even have a great summer this year. Oh well. Anyway, crack on. And just like that, we're done. Yeah, pleased with that. So we got most of the weeds out, but like I say, we'll leave a few in there because it's going to be covered eventually anyway. So the next job is to dig in horse manure compost, but our trading shed is closed today, so I'm going to have to wait until later in the week to get that done. So I'm going to ask you guys something, see what you think about this. So as I mentioned, we are going to cover this with ground sheet, and we're going to cut holes for the pumpkins to grow through, just so we don't have to mess about weeding it constantly. So once I've dug in the horse manure compost, should I cover the ground for the winter, or shall I just leave it and wait until next year when we're ready to put the pumpkins in? Don't know, let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? Anyway, yeah, pleased with that. That's another good job, well done. Well, I got one job done. but it was one big job. That whole plot is nicely dug over, ready for the horse manure. So one bit of advice for you, even if you take nothing else from our videos, just take this bit of advice, is come to your allotment with one job in mind and get that job done. It's one thing to tick off your list, and you know, if you get anything else done, if you have some spare time, then it's a bonus, isn't it? But yeah, as all the old veterans up here say, little and often. And with the cold nights coming, it is a case of little, because yeah, there's just not enough daylight hours anymore. But we've still got loads to do. Again, I'm looking around, and I've said this before in videos, and there's always something to do. Anyway, so it's Monday, and yeah, we've got the whole week ahead. Plenty more to do, always more to do. Yeah, I know it's been like a bit of a downer start to this video. We are just literally going to chalk this up to kids, teenagers, just coming in. Like you look at like what they did, and we think they just tried to open the door to let the chickens out, you know, for a laugh, to be honest, because you can see Tilly's chickens from the main road quite easily. A lot of other chickens up here are kind of hidden away, and we kind of think that's what that was. When it came to the stuff being damaged on our plot, literally I just think their chances, and they walk through and oh yeah, let's just like kick that and break it. I've seen another few bits around the site of things that potentially they could have done, things knocked over and that. We've not even had any high winds, you know, it's not that. It's just kids. Have you ever had anyone do anything like that on your plot? I mean, I've heard some horror stories of things that used to go on up here years ago. Apparently like 4 or 5 years ago, it was really bad. People were breaking into sheds, stealing petrol, all sorts, petrol for scooters and things like that. But what can you do, really? You know, we've got the trail cams up. I don't think it's anyone being malicious. I just think it's kids messing about. But this kind of leads back to an older video that we did, where we had a letter from the council, or Tilly did, about her plot not being numbered. And you know, in our response to the council, we mentioned issues about site security and how it's quite easy for some people to jump the fence, for example. And yeah, you know, it's a throwback to that, isn't it? Nothing's been done in regards to that by the council. They've still not fixed a lock on the toilet door as well. Potholes are still there. You know, you can complain all you want about stuff, but does it get done? No, just put the rent up. Hey ho. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, especially the goblin bit. We like to have a laugh, we like to have fun in these vlogs, and I hope you enjoy them too. Different, isn't it? You know, just a bit different to like other stuff that's out there. So yeah, and it's us, it's our personalities, you know, bit wacky, bit crazy. And yeah, if you want to see more of that, then please do consider becoming a channel member. It costs less than a packet of seeds each month. Do a load of behind the scenes vlogs about the family, going away on little trips, holidays, chats about behind the scenes things, and you know, fun stuff like that. And thank you to our existing channel members, we really appreciate your support. And I will say this, actually, when it comes to like revenue and things from YouTube, and obviously people paying for a channel membership, that money, right, we're doing something quite special with a bit of the money that we have raised from channel memberships, and indeed like ad revenue. We don't make a lot, to be quite honest. I mean, look at our subscribers, we don't make a lot of money, but we are doing something very special with those funds that we have raised so far. It's not just going into our pockets to buy sports cars and power boats and stuff like that. We're going to do something very special for the community up here. So stay tuned for that. That will be a video in December where you will see what we are gifting and giving back to our allotment community. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. Please leave a comment if you've got any questions for us, any tips, any advice, that sort of thing. We love hearing from you guys. And yeah, so stay safe, and I will see you guys in the next one.